Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing an unboxing on the latest version of Grant training gloves. So check it out. Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'm doing an unboxing of the latest version of Grant training gloves. These retail for $595. I got mine in the red colorway, 14 ounces in lace up. Now, I know what you guys are asking. How do you go about purchasing your own pair of Grant boxing gloves? And there's really two ways that I know of, official ways if you want to call it, to order gloves from Grant. The first way would to actually be to email them, sales@grantworldwide.com, and then take it from there. And then they actually have their official eBay store, which is where I purchased these gloves from. They do have their store. Be very careful because there's a lot of imitation, a lot of clones out there on eBay. But if you do go to the Grant official store, and yes, I will put that down below in the description box, then you will get an authentic pair of gloves. Their store is kind of seasonal, at least from what I've seen when they sell their equipment. There may be times where they don't have anything in inventory, at least their stock colorways. And there may be a time where they load up and you'll find their stock colorways, which is the black and red, and then they offset with their colors. They sell the training gloves from like 12 ounces all the way to 16, both in lace up and Velcro. And then they also sell their fight glove versions, which I did a review on, a red pair a couple years back, which they have in 8 and 10 ounces as well. Their gloves are handmade in Mexico, and that's what Grant is known for. But that's the way I purchased these gloves, was from their eBay store, to guarantee that these were authentic. Another thing, over the years, from purchasing Grant gloves, they've always came from the same address in Southern California. Monarch Beach is their, I'm not gonna give the actual address just for obviously privacy reasons, but it says Grant Worldwide, but it's in Monarch Beach, California. That's the address. And that's every authentic pair I've ever got from them that I've reviewed in the past has always come from that same address. And that's not to say they can't move or go to a different address, and that might change, but at least from what I know, it's come from there. So let me go ahead and cut this box open so we can take a look at the gloves. And when I say this is the latest version, Grant has had different iterations of their gloves over the years. Now their latest version is going to be where they have multicolored thumb and a multicolored wrist padding or wrist support. Compared to the previous version, I did a review on the red ones, where the red ones, it was just all solid black. It was red, you had the Grant logo, and then I believe you had a split palm on the palm side, and the thumb I think was a split black and white, or red and white, I forgot. But that was kind of the old version of the gloves. Just nothing inside the box, standard cardboard box. And then a few years ago, they kind of upgraded to the triple thumb look, as well as the triple wrist support. So here you have it. They have a little bit of kind of wrapping paper, black wrapping paper, to make it look like a gift. And here are the gloves. They're wrapped in plastic. Again, this is the newer version that has the black, white, and red. And you also have black, white, and red on the wrist support. And again, excuse me, this is a stock colorway. The other colorway is going to be where the main color on the glove is going to be black, and then you just kind of reverse that. So this is a stock colorway. One other thing I noticed is that all of the authentic Grants that I've gotten, they've always been kind of, I guess you can't say vacuum sealed because it's not like the plastic is hugging onto the gloves, but they've all been sealed the same way, where they use like a bag and then they use some kind of like heat transfer, heat closure to close it. So there's no actual like Ziploc opening. They don't wrap it in saran wrap. It's in this nice plastic bag. So when you do rip it open, you'll know that it's been opened before. So let me go ahead and open it up. I did get these in 14 ounces. I was thinking about getting them in 12, but I went with 14. And the reason I was thinking about getting them in 12 was because my old Halloween, I call them the Halloween Grants, which were black and orange. I got those in 12s, and they actually almost fit like a pair of 16 Sabas Pro Series gloves. So I didn't want to get 16s because the last pair of 16s I had, which were their Velcro hook and loops, they were the black ones. They were massive, like they were huge. So I decided to go with 14, and I do know that over the years, Grant has also changed manufacturers down in Mexico. And I know it's still kind of a mystery. I know somebody probably knows, but still kind of a mystery of who manufactures their gloves and whatnot. But there you go. There you have it. So beautiful gloves. And you know, that's really what they're known for. And I know a lot of companies have kind of come out with their own version, copycat, just like Winnings. Winnings has the same thing where, you know, they're an expensive glove, right? Grants are expensive. So you have other companies that try to replicate it, or at least give you kind of a similar option at a much more affordable price point than these. And, you know, to be honest with you, whenever I go to the gym, I don't think I've ever, maybe one time I've seen somebody actually had a pair of Grants while they were training at the gym. But outside of that, in the years that I've been in the gym, I've never seen really anybody training with Grants. And that's not to say that they're not good gloves and you can't use it for training. It's just, it's a glove that's really rare, and they're obviously expensive. So not a lot of people, even if they do have them, are going to want to use them because they want to preserve them. You also notice that the newer Grant logo doesn't have the Grant Worldwide website anymore. It used to be down here as part of the logo. They just made it the guy that punches. A lot of people were laughing because I pointed that out in one of my old Grant videos that the logo is basically a boxer or a person. That's their head right there, and then that's their hands, and the red is their gloves. And when they looked at it, they're like, "Oh, okay, I didn't really realize that was someone with boxing gloves on the entire time." So that's the logo, and I think they done. I mean, it's a great logo. It's a very recognizable logo, right? The leather on here has a kind of a semi-gloss finish, has a strong leather smell to it. Again, triple thumb, black, white, and red. You do have a white leather attached thumb and welded seams throughout the entire glove. The grip bar in here is very large and firm. And this another reason I wanted to get these gloves is kind of use it as a glove to compare with my 16-ounce Winnings. I know they're not the same exact weight, but they're pretty close. I also wanted to compare these gloves eventually to my Bayonetta gloves, because I know a lot. Again, I know a lot of people have talked about Bayonetta and all the other, you know, New Sporting, because I know New Sporting has done a lot of equipment for other manufacturers or other brands, should I say, as well. But yeah, I mean, everything about this glove is quality. It does have the Grant tag at the bottom, 14-ounce size, right there at the bottom, and you also have a nice, smooth, silky polyester satin liner. You have another tag on the inside that has the Grant logo, and then they also have the Made in Mexico tag right there that all authentic Grants have. Laces have been the same over the years. It's these cotton laces with plastic tips at the end. It is what it is. Not my favorite laces. I feel like if you're gonna pay this amount of money, give us some nice like cotton polyester blend laces that are a little bit more higher quality than these. But I mean, I don't know. Some companies like to stick to tradition and just keep it that way, which is whatever. But let me go ahead and open it up. White piping on the palm, as well as white piping around the base of the thumb. And only ventilated holes on the inner portion of the thumb, nothing above or below the grip bar. So let me slide my hand in. And yeah, very comfortable. I'm glad I got 14s because these actually fit perfectly. Wrist support is a huge factor with these gloves, as it is like even with the Bayonettas, they put a huge emphasis on wrist support. You're looking at probably like 1.5 inches of padding right here on the inside of the wrist, and about another inch and a half on the back of the wrist. So that feels very good. The thumb is nice and parallel and feels really good. The bottom portion is nice and open. I'll feel how that feels once I get hand wraps on. When I make a fist right now, I'd say it's semi-broken in. They're not extremely soft yet, but the more I use them, but they're not super stiff either. I say they're right there in the middle. And grip bar feels really good. You can really feel that. Back of padding, it's about, I'd say 1 inch of padding on the back of my thumb. It's about, I'd say firm in density, has a good firmness. It doesn't pull down on the tip. I think Grant, to me, is who really kind of pioneered that parallel thumb when it came to thumbs on boxing gloves, and you know, they've stuck to that. One big difference, I think, is they've used more felt in this finger compartment. And all the Grant gloves I've ever had, they've always had like this piece of kind of smooth felt on the finger compartment to cover the stitching where this welted seam is at, and they have it in this glove, but it actually dips all the way down into this portion of the finger compartment where they have that felt. So it feels very comfortable, very luxurious, and it covers that stitching. But that feels really good. Now padding on here, medium density. It's not super stiff. Feels like a latex style foam. It doesn't feel too soft. Definitely not a puncher style glove. You know, it's not a horsehair type of glove. I'd say it's right there in the middle. So if you had these gloves, based on just how this initial feel with the density feels, I'd say that you can use this pretty much for everything in the gym, hitting the mitts, bag work, sparring, as long as it's the correct size for your weight class. But yeah, I'd say medium in density in terms of that padding. Let me go ahead and get this other glove to feel it out. So that's the left. Let me get this right out. Delace it. And you'll notice that the palm side is all one color. It's not split down the middle, all solid red. Slide my hand in here. It's pretty tight initially, so you gotta kind of loosen it up. All right. Okay, yeah, right glove feels good as well. Semi broken in, thumb feels good in terms of parallel. Again, a huge emphasis on wrist support. You know, once you have these tied down and cinched up, that wrist support is really solid. Palm opening is good as well. That's another thing that's worth mentioning, is that opening in the palm. You know, leather on here is top-notch quality leather. Welted seams look great. Again, kind of semi-broken in, not too soft, not too stiff. And again, you have that felt on that finger compartment. So yeah, overall, beautiful. And they look amazing. Again, white piping at the bottom of the cuff looks good. No issues there. So yeah, overall, man, I'm really excited to try out these gloves. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much I'm gonna be using these. I'll do some bag work and maybe hit the mitts with these just sparingly, just because how expensive they are and I want to preserve them. So I'll be honest with you in that regard. I'm not gonna go all out with these gloves just because of the cost of them and just basically how rare they are. But my my whole thing is ultimately is to compare this to other gloves that are currently out that are very popular. Bayonetta, Winnings, even Reyes. I'm gonna get a pair of Reyes and, you know, a newer pair because I know they also over the years have revised their gloves too. And just kind of benchmark it and then see, you know, the differences between the gloves. And it's not necessarily to say any glove is better than the other. I mean, some people like Grants. They think Grants are amazing gloves, and some people love Winning. So, you know, it really depends on you. But at least we can capture that on this channel on video, and then you guys can make your choices from there. So you guys know what to do. Put your comments below if you have any. I will put the link to that eBay store in the description box. Keep in mind, there's times throughout the year that I've noticed that they're out of inventory. So if you do go there and you don't see anything, that's just because they're either sold out or they just haven't put anything on their eBay website. So just reach out to them at through their email. So hope you guys found this video helpful, and I will see you guys later. Peace.